Tony D and Little Joan, and I'm going to do an article that just freaks me out. It just freaks me out. This is from Not the Bee, and if you don't check out Not the Bee, you really should. It's articles that you think might be in the Babylon Bee because they're so crazy, but they're not. So this one says New York Times has been having a wild one this week. Check out the replies to this one. It's an opinion essay called Donor Organs Are Too Rare. We Need a New Definition of Death. What the F are you talking about? See, this is why I am not an organ donor. The moment someone suggested that to me, and I was like, oh no, I'm not doing that at all. Absolutely not. Won't do it. I got a freaky thing about that, and even donating. You're gonna think I'm a jerk, but I don't want to donate blood either. I thought about it. I came close a few times, but it just kind of freaks me out. But the organ donating, no effing way. Now I'm too old. They probably wouldn't take them, but still, this look, the people running your hospital, they're just like you and me. They're not gods. You gotta watch them. They got stuff going on. But here's the article. It seems like the New York Times is getting further and further down out in left field the more time that passes. We recently told you about the shady practices of the government discovered around organ donation. HHS, it's a scene from the Green Mile. Investigation finds systematic disregard for sanctity of life in organ transplant system, with hospitals pushing to kill donors who might recover. It's just horrific. Imagine being in a hospital and like you're out of it, and then you hear the doctor say, well, he's probably not going to make it. Let's take his eyeballs. Like, oh my God, no. The way things stand, doctors are pushing to call people dead before they're really dead in order to take their organs. Jesus criminies. Right on cue, the New York Times here to tell us that harvesting organs from living patients is good. Actually, in fact, we're not doing enough. Jesus, you people are monsters. You're ghouls. Guest essayists, Doctors Sandeep Johar and Snehalal Patel and Dean Smith, all from the Northwell in New York, think that we should redefine death so they can cut those, and they put money making crossed out, life-saving organs out of your chest. Who gets this money? That is no bueno. Here's some quotes from the article. We need to figure out how to obtain more healthy organs from donors while maintaining strict ethical standards. You can't. The answer to that is, well, you can't. New technologies can help, but the best solution, we believe, is legal. We need to broaden the definition of death. See, that's not good. That's going to... people like me who are on the fence, maybe they're organ donors now, they read an article like this, they ain't going to be organ donors for long. Being brain dead, which is one way to be legally dead, and circulatory death is another. The problem is that organs die quickly and are useless shortly after this. With a growing demand for organs with an aging population, doctors are arguing that maybe we just off a few people here and there for the common good. Ugh. No. It's got to be a rare thing. Fortunately, there is a relatively new method, this is from the article, that can improve the efficacy of donation after circulatory death. In this procedure, which is called normothermic regional perfusion, doctors take an irreversibly comatose donor off of life support long enough to determine that the heart has stopped beating permanently. But then the donor is placed on a machine that circulates oxygen-rich blood throughout the body to preserve organ function. So they'll take you off life support just enough to confirm you're dead and that your heart can't beat, but keep your blood oxygen rich and take your organs. That sounds pretty horrific if you mess that up. But by artificially circulating blood and oxygen, the procedure can reanimate a lifeless heart. Some doctors and ethicists find the procedure objectionable because in reversing stoppage of the heart, It seems to nullify the reason the donor was declared dead in the first place. Is the donor no longer dead, they wonder? Doesn't sound like it if the heart is beating on its own. And why don't you use that to help people? We are at the let's reanimate people to harvest their organs stage of technological necromancy. To make sure doctors can harvest organs without those pesky resistance of family members who want to wait and see if their loved one recovers, they argue that we should just expand the law to give them unlimited power. No bueno. How to resolve this debate? The solution, we believe, is to broaden the definition of brain death to include irreversibly comatose patients on life support. No. Using this definition, these patients would be legally dead regardless of whether a machine restored their beating of their heart. No. This is all about declaring comatose people dead by definition. It's arguing that the state can pull the plug so they can cut you open and gut you. Jesus. And then you quote Orrin McIntyre. I'm kind of surprised you quote him. The technocratic managers will slowly but steadily enact every dystopian measure imaginable in order to squeeze every last bit of efficiency out of the system. Their power must be broken. Sorry, I got a gnat in here. Perhaps the New York Times opinion editors should remember the paper's own article from a few weeks ago. Oh my God. In New Mexico, this is the article. A woman was subjected to days of preparation for donation even after her family said she seemed to be regaining consciousness, which she eventually did. Jesus, that's a lawsuit. In Florida, a man cried and a bit on his breathing tube but was still withdrawn from life support. Jesus. In West Virginia, doctors were appalled when coordinators asked a paralyzed man coming off of sedatives if an operating room for consent to remove his organs. Jesus Christ. This makes me want to go in, if I ever have to go to a hospital, God forbid, just go in there and be like, you can't take any of my organs. I just want to make that perfectly clear. Jesus. Now here are some of the problems. Instead of some of the responses, instead of addressing the abuse, it seems doctors want to redefine it so we can pretend it's not actually abuse. Here's the replies. People like you are why I'm removing my name from the donor registry. That would be the problem right there. If you redefine death, people will do that. You are an evil man. Straight to the point. With a brain dead idea like this, maybe you should be the first expanded case. Ha! Can I have your organs? With a brain dead idea. Oh, we read that one already. Your article almost certainly set organ donation back in the United States. Yeah. How many people are going to take their names off the organ donor list because of ideas like these? I didn't need this idea to stay off of it because I'm just freaked out by the whole thing, and that would be my first thought. If there's any money in this whatsoever, someone's going to harvest your organs. Yeah. It's what needs to happen is we need a different technology. We need some sort of cloning technology that'll allow, the doctors to clone you a new heart or a new liver or whatever, and then that works. We're still years away from that, and then we could completely end this essentially barbaric procedure. But I want the next step though will be do those organs, artificially grown organs, and have rights. Are they alive? And I'm sure that'll be a thing. But because who knows that right now there's a is it a robot? Some sort of cybernetic creature that the Chinese have developed, but it has a piece of artificial brain in it. So, yeah, that's getting crazy. You will, what's the saying? You will live long enough to see horrors beyond your comprehension. Yeah, this is approaching that. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D. I hope you sleep well tonight. And I know I will not. So what's up for me? We're doing a live stream on Sunday. That's tomorrow. Don't miss that one because we're going to talk about the Fantastic Four and its precipitous drop, and I think it's going to be pretty damn big. I mainly predicted this, although last week I was kind of like, oh, it did kind of good, so maybe it'll hold on. Yeah, it doesn't look that way. Doesn't look like it has legs at all. No legs on the Fantastic Four. Did they fall asleep at a hospital and some doctor removed them? Anyhow, that's it for me today. See you tomorrow on the live stream where we do it live. Oh, also on Tuesday, August 5th at the LBI Book Swap. See you tomorrow.